Hello, seekers. Wildly of Wildly Tarot and Wild Moon Medicine Collective for Women here. I'm your favorite divinatrix, your favorite soul seductress, and I am arriving here today feeling a little agitated, and the emotions are definitely riding high in my personal field as we've come out of this eclipse portal, and this dark moon phase is unraveling to the waxing crescent this week. I'm so curious. Let me know in the comments, how did this weekend feel for you? How did it affect you? Did you notice anything in your body, in your mental space, your emotional space? How did it feel to complete that portal where we had a lot of things shaken up and brought to clarity? And now here we are in the month of December. And for my Patreon people, I had this beautiful write-up for December where the animals for this month were bear and squirrel. And bear reminding us that we have everything that we need inside of ourselves to move into winter, but that we can also lean on nurturing and mothering-like activities from those whom we trust. This is a month where we need to remind ourselves of our sovereignty, but also recognize that we've all been worn pretty thin. And so let's make self-care a priority. Let's really put it up on the list, especially as we're moving towards the holidays, which can be really, really triggering for a lot of us. Not all of us have warm, fuzzy family memories to lean on, or super comfortable, nurturing environments to go back to during holiday times. Some of us have deaths that have been quite potent in the last year or two. A lot of loss, a lot of grief. These are just triggering times, even as they are celebratory times. So just really leaning on that bear medicine. And then squirrel reminding us that it's okay to be prepared. It's good to be prepared. But when we step beyond that energy of preparedness into the frequency of being frenetic and worrying and wondering if we have all of our bases covered, then we end up being like the squirrel, hiding the nuts that we can never find again. So we're being invited this month to really hone in on where it is best for us to apply our precious resource of personal energy, and where do we have any energy leaks that have been perhaps going unnoticed in the wild craziness that is our world at this time. Now, for this month of December, and in particular this week, I pulled an archetype card from the Threads of Fate and then a tarot card from the Bones Tarot. I was really drawn to these two darker decks. It really feels like this week is a darker time, and that's not good or bad, just a time of reflectiveness going really, really inward. And in the cards that presented themselves, it seems really apropos that we are being offered an opportunity this month to be different, to change. So the first archetype we have here is Get Curious. And I love this. I love this card. First we have the moon here, this beautiful bird. This is an archetype of recognizing that if we don't allow ourselves to get curious about a situation, then we are stepping into it with a lot of assumptions and previously held notions that may or may not be true. And if we are always looking at every situation in our lives through a lens of non-curiosity, as in we already know everything, we already know the rules and the data, then we might miss some very key items that would help us see things in a different way. So by getting curious, we allow spaciousness for other people's points of view. We allow spaciousness to recognize where inside of ourselves we might need to grow and expand. We can get curious about, why am I feeling triggered? Why is this bringing something up for me? and we can look at it from this place of curiosity. But if we stay in the drama triangle of victim or villain or rescuer, then we don't give ourselves the space to step out of it. Curiosity really is the antidote and the key to allow us to step into the invitation of repatterning that we have available this month and this week. And it's supported here with the High Priestess. And I love this. The moons, they're the exact opposite. I just think that's amazing. So we're also dealing with polarity here. We're dealing with this energetic push-pull. The High Priestess invites us into the magnetic frequency. Some people would use the language of the feminine frequency. And just allowing ourselves to lean into the wisdom that resides in that particular polarity, the receptive side. This is the space where we're really open, where we're listening to our intuition, our intuitive knowing instead of our brain, where we're allowing ancient wisdom that resides within all of us, in our bones, in our DNA, to become more activated. I'm just really feeling like this week there is a clear choice point available for all of us. We can continue to behave in the ways that we are used to behaving that perhaps lead to fights or dissonance or disagreements. Or we can make a choice to actively be curious, lean into our body, and find where our truth lives here. Where is that High Priestess wisdom within, rather than allowing the brain computer, this place up here that has all of this programming and all of these belief systems that we may or may not have consented to. What happens if we step a little bit away from that space and get curious about our surroundings and about our feelings and about one another, instead of constantly projecting onto the other what we assume about them? That feels like the Moonday message for us all this week. I hope that it serves you well. I hope that you have everything that you need. And if you would like to work with me, you'll notice my calendar is full for the month of December. However, I do still have a couple of spaces remaining for a year in your cards or a year in your business. So if either of those look delicious, please check out the link tree in my bio and we will get you scheduled. Otherwise, take good care, and I will see you next Moonday.